This is The Big Bag, the show for dog lovers that brings you the latest news from the canine world. Each episode we meet with different pet professionals from across the canine industry, from pet shop owners to groomers, behaviour specialists and vets. We also chat with dog owners to find out more about the bonds that make a dog man's best friend. I'm your host, Darragh Bourke, and I'm joined today, as always, by my amazing canine cohosts, Bruno and Milly. And they're sure to pop their heads in throughout the show, say hello and offer their own big bag. Over the last number of episodes, we have focused on meeting the participants of the 2020 Nose of Tralee competition, which is run by Pets Ireland. Well, the Nose of Tralee is all done and dusted, and today we will be delighted to welcome your winner, the 2020 Nose of Tralee. Let's bring him on, let's start the show, and let's meet your 2020 Nose of Tralee, the Offaly Nose, Teddy. Over the last couple of weeks, we've done a lot of shows regarding the Nose of Tralee. We've met a number of the different participants, and today it's all done and dusted, and we are chatting with your winner today. So please welcome your 2020 Nose of Tralee, Teddy, with his human steward. Teddy and Stewart, welcome to the Big Bag, and a huge congratulations to Teddy on being 2020 Nose of Tralee.
Thank you.
How does it feel to know that you're is the 2020 Nose of Tralee?
It was great. It was great last night at 6:30 when it was announced. It was brilliant because it's been going on for 2 months. You know, it started on the 28th of June. So for it to come to an end, and then Teddy after being crowned, it was just a great achievement.
Brilliant. And okay, so I'm just going to give a bit of background, kind of like we did last day. So the 2020 Nose of Tralee comes from Offaly. Teddy is a Tibetan Maltese, and Teddy does not know the meaning of personal space. This is direct now from the press release from Pets Ireland. She wants to have human contact as much as possible. She is the belle of the ball in her best Offaly jersey, strolling down the back road, wagging her tail at all that she meets. What makes Teddy so special is how she makes people feel. Many studies have shown that interactions with animals bring on a surge of oxytocin, making pet lovers feel at ease, relaxed, full of love. This is what Teddy has brought to the lives of all those that know her and interact with her. Through this pandemic, Stuart and Teddy have pounded the payments every day, even completing sponsored 10,000 steps a day in June for the Maher Foundation. And as much as she loves her walks, Stuart did have to convince her to get off the couch and put on her yellow rain jacket to try out for some of this 10k a day, which was a lot for her little legs. And with all the outfit changes and photos, she really is enjoying the attention and focus that were taken of her. In a world full of uncertainty, we know for sure that Teddy's warm little paws, her cute bark and happy face will greet Stuart every time he walks in the door. Man's best friend helps us in so many ways, emotionally and physically, benefiting our health. In return, Stuart wants to introduce Teddy to Ireland and show everyone how lucky he is to have her. And Stuart, I can tell you one thing, like that right there would speak to every dog owner right there. Like, I completely resonate with those words. Dogs are man's best friend.
They are, yeah. No, they are. And Teddy is my best friend. I spend most of my time with Teddy. So it's always me and her, and you know, from walking to being here on her you know, sitting on the couch, or, you know, so it's always me and Teddy, you know.
Yeah,
Also,
and like it's the same for me.
my
Go ahead, Stuart.
my partner, I think he thinks now I love Teddy a bit more than him. So
But like, come on, man, isn't that just the way? Like,
yeah,
you have to accept that.
it's yeah, it is.
Like, look, it's definitely true. Like, dogs are our best friends, and there's no denying that, like, the relation that we have with our dogs, and the fact that, like, they're only a part of our lives for a short time, but we are their whole lives.
Yeah, yeah, we are, and you know, it's unbelievable how much of a bond is kind of. I didn't think Teddy's my first dog. I've never had a dog before Teddy. And when I went to get Teddy, I wasn't actually meant to go get Teddy. I went to get a full breed Maltese dog. That's what I originally went to get. And I had seen Teddy, then I fell in love with her, and I took her straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing, like there is this instant bond that we do have, like when we meet our dogs for the first time. Like when, for example, when I met Bruno, like I was only literally after losing my previous dog who had only just passed away. And I thought I would never bond with a dog the same way that I bonded with my last dog, Coco. But the minute I met Bruno, I just absolutely just fell in love with him. And then we got Millie a few months later. And like they've been such a huge part of not just my life, but my father's life, my girlfriend's life. Like they've been a huge part of all my family's life.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Like the day that I went to get, like obviously not Teddy, but I said like the girl had these other puppies, and she said just sit down on the floor, and she said let one of them. And Teddy was the first dog that came to me.
Hmm.
So she was. Teddy was the first dog that came to me, and then sure I couldn't leave her. Then I had to take her because I fell in love with her instantly. It was
Oh,
like
that's brilliant.
she knew, you know. It was like she knew to come to me, like.
Yeah, absolutely. And they did too. Like this bond and this connection that dogs feel. Like they say that dogs can actually feel everything that we're feeling. And like if we're feeling down, dogs know that and they know to comfort us. Like
Yeah,
it's this amazing emotional connection that is there between man and dog.
yeah, it's huge. Like there is a huge connection there, and I think, you know, with spending so much time together, you know, and everything, like, you know, obviously it has to come to an end, you know, they don't outlive us, like, you know, and I
Yeah,
think that would be, you know, a disaster. That's going to be a disaster for me here anyway. So it is.
absolutely. And look, hopefully there will be many more years
No, we don't talk
with
about
you and
that
Teddy.
yet. We don't talk about that yet. So we don't.
And tell me, sir, what kind of reaction have you been getting from people
I've
since you
got
found out yesterday evening?
I got a great reaction. I've got like there's after being stuff on all the papers throughout Offaly, the Midlands Radio. I had to do an interview with Midlands Radio 3 at 8:30 this morning. I've got like it's after being shared out through Facebook, Instagram. Like it's brilliant. Like so it is. Like
Fantastic.
it was a tough competition this year. I kind of knew last week it was going to be tough between me and Teddy and Robert.
Mm,
I knew kind of last week. I had said it to my friend. You know, she's a great advocate for all rescue dogs and stuff like that. You know, and I knew she had a huge following from that. You know, and I knew it was going to be a tough competition. And I was delighted that he plays second. You know, as well. You know, obviously I'm delighted Teddy won first. I
yeah.
am. You know,
And we were hoping to have Robert actually on the show as well this evening, but unfortunately, I was talking to his human there today, and since the power outage last week, and since like the storms last week, they're still without internet down
right?
in Cork. So look, hopefully another time we'll have them back on the
Yeah.
show. But like, I think there is like the reason as well, like just to touch on that, the reason like there is such a strong support there right now for greyhounds in particular is when you look at everything that has gone on
Oh,
in the
cool.
last year, and not just greyhounds, but animal welfare in general. There's been
Yeah.
so much that's gone on.
You know, and like an awful lot of people that like do this adopt and don't shop. And I am a huge believer of that. But I live in a small apartment, so I'm not a perfect candidate to adopt. You know, it's
Yeah,
not really big. Teddy is a perfect size for where I live. And because even though I'm great at walking, I walk myself, so I have no problem walking at all. I walk every day myself and everything. I do loads of exercise, but some of the criteria is very high to get these pets.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And especially like that is the thing, like with a lot of animal shelters, like the even the home I suppose the home checks in advance are very I wouldn't say strict, but what's the word I'm looking for? Very kind of very comprehensive. Like there is a
Yeah,
really comprehensive
like
check done.
any rescues want the dogs to go to a good home.
Yeah,
But like when I did look down the road of adopting, the criteria was I just didn't. I wouldn't have ever been a perfect candidate for it.
yeah,
I wasn't a
and
perfect candidate, and I wasn't because obviously living in an apartment. I have no actually garden for Teddy. Like we get all that through outside. We spend an awful lot of our time outside doing different stuff. Like anybody that knows Teddy knows that she's very well looked after. That there's never, I'm straight on top of all her injections or anything. I have Teddy fully neutered, even though people have begged me to give puppies. I didn't get Teddy to breed her or make money off her. I got her for a companion. She was that's what I wanted.
yeah,
You know.
exactly. And like I think you have like people have to remember as well, while it's great to like go down the road of a doctor and shop,
Yeah,
provided that the dog like that you are getting the pup from somewhere where the dog has been well looked after
yeah,
and
of
comes from a good owner. Like I think that's also important to look at too.
course. Yeah, yeah. Like I'm still in contact with the previous owner of Teddy. The girl that bred Teddy. Like she
Yeah,
followed out Teddy's journey throughout the whole competition. And has recently sent me pictures of two sisters belonging to Teddy from the same litter, and which is great and stuff like that.
yeah, absolutely. And like it's something that I touch on in most shows. I always give a shout out to Dr. Tim Kirby from pep.ie. He does a lot of work with animal rescue centers, but he also has a very to be featured on his site as a breeder. He has a very strict criteria that breeders actually have to meet. So
Yes,
it's trying to stamp out the element of puppy farms and like all that, and like the illegitimate breeders who are only after one thing, which is money. So
yeah,
it's great when you see that like pups do come from a good caring home as well.
yeah. Of course. Like when I got Teddy, like we went in like when I picked out Teddy or whatever. Like one was lovely. She brought in the mother and the father. They were so playful, and and that was all the pups she had. And it was
Yeah,
it was great. I did go to look at another Maltese, like I said beforehand, and the reason why I love Teddy is Teddy was actually a very if you go through Teddy's Instagram pictures, you'd see that she was actually a completely different color when I first got her, and I didn't like the way their eyes weep and the
yeah.
state, and I didn't like that. That's what I didn't like on the Maltese. But then lo and behold, Teddy ended up becoming white.
But sure, look, these things happen, and it's probably a sign as well that it's kind of meant to happen.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
okay, so want to move on there and ask you, like, obviously the prizes have been quite good. So you have a photo shoot with David McCauley. There is the prize from Pet Sitters Ireland themselves. And then, of course, the one that Teddy is probably most looking forward to is the €500 worth of treats from Tesco Ireland.
yes, of course. Even though
So how,
all I wanted
but,
was the photo. That's all I really wanted. I
and
think
tell me
it is.
exactly, how long will it take Teddy to go through €500 worth of treats?
Well, she likes the meaty sticks over there, so I think I think she won't be long about going through it. So she will.
Exactly, yeah.
She loves the meaty
Yeah.
treat.
And what's next now for Teddy? Obviously, being a Nose of Tralee and like,
Um, I think honestly, I think that was it. I think that
yeah,
I like I said, I only entered that competition. It was on the last day. It was actually the evening. I think it was only about an hour, if even that before I entered that when it was closing. That I entered that competition for Teddy. I'm not into that. Like, I wouldn't be into the competitions. Like, it's just not something I'm into. And I just thought that was such a fun competition because it was all done online.
Yeah, that's it's really good about that. It's not like you have to get up on a big stage in front of your man Darragh Bourke or anything.
No, nothing at all. And there was no there was only one stage I went to a judging panel, and that was for the county and to go on to the last to be crowned and last nose. Like, so it was great that we didn't have to. It wasn't judging. It was down to the people that voted. Everyone voting and the commitment.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people kind of they put their dogs into this so that the dogs might go somewhere else. But so you're telling me that Teddy has no future in modelling or no?
Well, not yet. Anyway, that could change. So it could.
It's funny because there's actually a dog who we've had on the show with his owner Michael previously. The dog is named Burley. He's a little Pomeranian living over in London. And the amount of celebrities that he's met, he's met some Keely Hawes, he's met Davina McCall, he's met a load of different celebrities. I think he's met what's that girl? Some girl from Game of Thrones as well. So
he's doing really well.
Yeah, but you see, I think that's because Michael's partner as well is a hairdresser that does all these celebrities hair. So he literally goes everywhere. But sure, look, you never know. You might get a knock on the door these days from Saoirse Ronan or someone.
Teddy suffers fierce bad travel sickness, and nothing has worked so far that I've got. So I don't know. It's very hard for me to get Teddy around. An awful lot of our campaign was done around locally. Because I wouldn't put her under the strain of travelling with her. There was only twice we went into Tullamore, and 2 times she puked. It's not fair. Wouldn't do that.
Yeah, some dogs aren't. Some dogs wouldn't actually be able for that either, the longer journeys.
No, she never grew out of it. I thought she would have from a puppy, but she never did. If anything, she got worse with it. So she did.
Okay, and I think that's about all that we have to cover there, Stuart. So, just out of interest, 27,000 votes went in total in the competition. Was it?
29,000.
29,800. And tell me this, did you ever think entering this competition that Teddy will come out on top as the Nose of Tralee?
No, at the start I didn't. And then I don't know, kind of last week Teddy started getting a huge follow. Once I kind of uploaded her pages kind of shortly after being told that we got to the next stage of it. And then for the 20 days I uploaded her pages and stuff, and she did get a great follow. No, I didn't, because there was an awful lot of dogs and stuff that had already a social media presence, and they already had a good follow, so I didn't know. I didn't think. We didn't. And then I don't know, we started getting a good few. I did the Teddy text at night time that took me nearly 2 hours to do, and that went out 3 times a day. That went out in the morning, in the evening, and then again at night time.
Right. Well, look, Stuart,
nobody needs to say I was 110% committed.
Well, look, Stuart, congratulations, and you absolutely deserve it. You put a lot of work in, and congratulations to Teddy too. Folks, anyone watching online, your 2020 Nose of Tralee, the Offaly Nose, and hold on, he's coming back on screen here now, and that is Teddy.
That's
Stuart,
Teddy.
thank you once again for joining us.
Thanks.
I will say a huge congratulations to Teddy and to Pet Sitters Ireland.
And all the contestants. They were great.
Absolutely. To everyone who has taken part, from thousands of entries at the very start, and we're down to the final nose, which is Teddy. And fair play to the lads in Pet Sitters Ireland, the great sponsors, David McCauley and Tesco Ireland as well.
Yeah, and
so, Stuart, let me know how things go in the future for Teddy, and be sure to keep in touch. And once again, delighted to have you on.
Thanks a million. Thank you.
From all of us here at the Big Bar, we're back next week, and next week we will be back to normal business. We'll be chatting with Kieran Sheehan. We're trying to get around to Kieran from Muppets Ireland about his new website and trying to get him on the show. Kieran is he's a bit shy at times, so we'll encourage that out of him to get on the show. And Stuart, thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, guys, on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, just to close up, show your 2020 Nose of Tralee, Teddy from Offaly.